Hi, I'm Will Wilcher with Lotus West Properties, and today we're going to talk about dealing with bad property management. You may own the best rental property in town, with luxury amenities, state-of-the-art features, and a community of great tenants. But honestly, none of that matters if you've hired the wrong property management company. The property manager is expected to handle a myriad of duties to ensure that everything runs smoothly. If even one of those responsibilities is neglected, it can trigger a domino effect of mismanagement that can ultimately threaten the value of your property. See, the trouble is landlords don't often realize when they've hired a poor property manager until it's too late. The signs aren't always so apparent. Even the most astute landlord may not be a hands-on owner. After all, they've entrusted the operational duties to the property manager. So when things start to fall apart, usually after months of mismanagement, the landlord is left scrambling to fix the mess that's been made. Sometimes that mess can result in a lawsuit for violating a tenant's rights, or even someone getting injured on the property due to neglect. Trust me, you do not want to be in this position no matter how passive your involvement might be in the day-to-day functioning of your property. So working with a property manager. It's natural for some things to fall through the cracks every once in a while. We're all human and mistakes are made. But when there is a continued pattern of failure to meet the expectations set out between landlord and property manager, action must be taken as soon as possible. This is why it's essential that a landlord establishes a specific set of expectations that must be met by the property manager. However, it's not enough for the two of you to shake hands and nod at one another in understanding. You must insist upon receiving routine reports as to the status of everything related to the property on time and in full. The regularity at which you receive those reports can be arranged between you and the property manager, but do not let too much time pass between status updates. When you're well apprised of everything that's happening at your property, you can take steps to make corrections when needed. If the property manager objects to this very basic method of supervision, you saved yourself a lot of time, headache, and money, since that property manager should no longer be in your employ. So, remember the domino effect of mismanagement I warned you about. If your property manager doesn't care about the property, honestly, your tenants won't either. That's when things get damaged and little mistakes turn into larger and often more costly ones. Neglect is very bad for the bottom line. For example, a leaky roof and disrepair can lead to many expensive repairs in the future. These are costs that you would not have incurred had your property manager been on it and doing his or her job. What are the signs you've chosen the wrong property manager? Well, this is where you need to be diligent. It's pretty easy to let a bad situation get a whole lot worse. If you start to experience some of the following habits emerging at your property, honestly, it might be time to start searching for a replacement who won't endanger your business. 1. Poor communication. You've hired a property manager to run the business. Therefore, you should be receiving information on a routine basis. You should not have to repeatedly be asking for updates that you're expecting. Property managers should be enthusiastic about keeping you apprised of every facet of the operational situation at the property. If something is repaired, you should have a copy of that work order invoice in your inbox no later than 3 days after the work is performed. This is particularly crucial with those routine property status reports you've arranged to have delivered. Take note of how promptly the reports arrive a few months into the working arrangement. A late report every once in a while may seem like an anomaly, and in some cases maybe it is. But if you start to notice a consistent pattern of erratic communication where those reports are concerned, that is a red flag. 2. Tenant behavior. If your property manager isn't doing a good job, you will hear about it from your tenants in no uncertain terms. A long overdue repair that has been unaddressed after repeated attempts to reach the property manager will likely result in a call directly to you, the landlord. Keep in mind that the conditions of the rental agreement provide legal recourse for the tenant to break the lease if the property remains in disrepair after multiple requests for service. Should you receive complaints from your tenants about the same issue of neglect, do yourself a favor and listen to what they're telling you. That is often your last warning to make that change before you start to lose tenants and damage your reputation. This is also a good point to remind you to have a landlord insurance policy to cover your property, because a bad property manager can put you in a position to be sued in so many different ways. The federal and state laws to protect tenants are very explicit, from running background checks to the legality of evictions. A tenant is entitled to privacy and safety for occupying one of their units. If a tenant is injured due to the negligence or any of these other laws that are broken, you can get sued. Some final thoughts. The benefit of the doubt is not your friend. Your property manager is the face of your business. Passive income is never passive when it comes to running a rental property, because all these responsibilities fall to you in the end. If you've hired an ineffective property manager, you only have yourself to blame for not monitoring their ability to do the job. I really hope this helped, and thanks for your time.